I move that we accept the donated "In God We Trust" banners for the different schools.
Okay, motion by trustee Robertson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Trustee Butler, a second. Any further conversation, questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And with that, the separation between church and state is getting a bit narrower in the Caldwell School District. No questions, no discussion, no opposition. It's probably because of how Idaho's national motto law was written. A poster or framed copy of the words "In God We Trust" has to have a flag on it. The background and lettering can only be black, white, gold, or silver. And with no other words, the size also has to be approved by the district. Oh, and that has to be donated. No public money can be spent on any of these posters or signs. So now, all 9 of Caldwell's schools will have an "In God We Trust" banner or sign or poster, thanks to Nampa residents Jody and Daniel Arnold. And they will look like this. This one right here, a 2-foot by 2-foot sign featuring a slightly folded American flag with the bold block letters of the motto, as you see there. The Arnolds told us they donated these signs because they believe faith has been removed from our daily lives. And outside the home, current social attitudes do not encourage expression of beliefs, they said. And with the new law, the Daniels saw an opportunity. Their donation, Jody told us, helps remind students we are free people, free to express our faith in the Creator, regardless of where you are, even at school. That new law she talked about was passed in 2023. And aside from the criteria listed as to what these signs can look like and how they were acquired, there was one other word in that law that likely removed any chance of opposition in that meeting up from Monday. The word "must," as in any educational institution under the control or supervision of the state, should they receive such a donation of the national motto, must display that poster or framed copy. So much for that local control Idahoans are so proud of, something that bothered at least one lawmaker during the debate.
It sets the precedent of forcing a school district to install something in their building from a private party.
That was back in March of 2023 when they were debating that. It passed flying colors in both chambers. Basically, what the law says, though, if somebody donates a sign and it meets the criteria that is listed here, it must be put up. School districts can only say how big that sign can be, which is what has happened in a couple of school districts so far. In the Mountain View School District and the Lake Pend Oreille School District that we know of so far, you may be thinking, okay, hold on, I see those signs. Wouldn't this violate the law that was passed this last legislative session? You know, the flags in schools law, the one that bans flags or banners that represent political or religious or ideological views from being put up in schools? Well, according to Idaho Ed News, someone actually complained about the Lake Pend Oreille motto sign on those grounds, right after House Bill 41 went into effect back in July. But State Superintendent Debbie Critchfield, in response to that complaint, says the motto signs are allowed because they comply with the previous law. And if the signs meet that criteria, well, then they don't violate the flags in schools law, she said. Well, the signs meet the criteria of the national motto law, which made us wonder if this one donated to the Caldwell School District does violate. Can we see that sign one more time, please? The law says, okay, let's look at the law. The background, the lettering, and framing on the poster or framed copy include only black, white, gold, or silver. So my question is, how does this background comply with that? There seems to be a lot more colors going on there than black, white, gold, or silver. Am I right? I mean, we'll see, I guess. We did reach out to both the West Ada and the Boise school districts, by the way. And so far, they have not had any donations of any "In God We Trust" signs. At least recently they haven't. But I guess if they do, well, then they must.